Welcome back to your video. We are about to get started. I will give you guys a couple of minutes to make your selection. What change is coming into your life? You have group 1, group 2, and group 3. I do believe this is amethyst. Okay. Carnelian. And here, possibly fluorite. All beautiful. Take a moment, look into the crystals, and see which one speaks to you. Stay throughout the video. At the end, we will have a collective message, and I have some really good news for someone who has been trying to manifest a financial change specifically. So, take a moment, and we will get started. Let's go with group 1. All right, group 1. Let's see. Okay. You have the 9 of Pentacles, which means momentum is building toward victory. Now, for some of you, this is release from karmic debt. Okay. I did see 99, 199, and the 9s are significant angel numbers and master numbers. So I'll give you some more information about that. It's not always connected to karmic energy, but it is connected to karmic energy. And the fact that the 4 swords surrounded, it does talk about healing or some sort of victory and recovery. And with the 2 of Pentacles, it says that there may have been an energetic binding to a person, some sort of transformation or change within a person, one or both of you. And it also talks about building momentum. Okay. Now, for those of you love bugs that are here for a word from a bird, there may have been some juggling in the past, and I feel that this person or you may now be independent and single, beyond any codependencies or trying to juggle multiple partners. So I think that that's pretty dope. When it comes to the karmic energy or a release of some sort, if you've been waiting on a person, some funds, a moment of peace, an answer, a resolution, these 9 pentacles bursting out of that darkness just says that it's go time, okay? And you may literally be receiving finances and or just an energetic break out of whatever it was binded to. Now, the angel numbers 99 talk about change and personal development. It often appears when you're going through a transformation phase in your life, turning a new page in your story. This number suggests that you're on the verge of a significant decision or change. And so it may be my chosen ones. Look, I was cutting the deck. You have the crow at the bottom of the deck and the sun, clarifying, that I may be on the right path here. So let's pull. I see the golden egg. Let's go. And you also got the bear. So, baby, winter's over. You've been in there with whatever you had saved, okay? And you're coming out ready. I saw it wanted to come out. Is this what we're doing? I'm gonna shuffle to make sure. But the bear looked like it was next. Yeah. Okay. Excuse me. There you have it. There it is. All right. So now, group 1, you have the 9 of Pentacles, the golden egg, and the bear. Now, the golden egg is one of my favorite cards because I like gold. And for some of you, divine beings, chosen ones, and alchemists, this is a spirit card and possibly a message from spirit. Okay? The golden egg talks about the message at the center of the heart. And notice you guys did select the green crystal. The unstruck sound. Within the golden egg lives a precious sound. Deep within that sound resides a message. The sound cannot be heard, nor the message discerned until we retreat from the noise of modern day life. It talks about no rushing, to be quiet until the time unfolds, gathering introspection and contemplation. When the mind begins to settle and the breath is calm, then the questions are asked and answered. So the golden egg just talks about a moment of pause, listening to the message that you've been waiting to hear. And it also says that you're listening to the message that they've been waiting to tell you. So for some of you, there's a message waiting that someone's been waiting to tell you. It may be your higher self, source, or a person. Now the bear, dun, 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 is coming out. And usually it's some sort of slumber or hibernation. So building momentum with the Two of Pentacles is like totally perfect for you guys. The bear does also talk about an awakening. So all of us that have been inside and introverted, you may be coming outside, but it talks about walking or waking from a spiritual slumber, beginning anew after a long winter for some of you. Now this is inner strength yearning to grow, but when out of balance may sometimes represent withdrawal, lethargy, and heaviness. So just be mindful of movement and exercise. But there may be a new direction and personal transformation. The initial weeks and months of this spiritual quest may feel tricky, cumbersome, or feel full of obstacles, but you have no choice, bear. Winter warns, the warmth of spring emerges and your transformation begins. So there we have it, group one. And we will move to group two. Group two. Let's see what you got with this beautiful amethyst crystal. Okay. For the wish fulfillment, we have acceptance. This is the 9 and the 369. So if any of you have been manifesting, wishing upon a star, and or just it represents bliss and happiness. All right. This is a good feeling. And I'm talking about he has his hands folded. Everything he wants is around him. And it's like no words for the amount of happiness that could come from the 9 of Cups. And what's significant about you, group 2, because group 1 had a 9 also, their card was physical. With the Pentacles, your card is emotional. And so this thing is going to make you happy. Regardless of what it is, a person, place, or a situation, it is the ultimate happiness. And it's just a coincidence that I was looking into moon phases. The timing on you guys' card could be significant to the next waning moon, maybe in Scorpio. And I say that because the 9s are usually connected with the kings. And in some, between traditional and modern, orthodox versus unorthodox tarot, child, it could be Cancer, right? But because the moon is there. But the Scorpios, if it's Scorpio's transformative energy intensifies the waning moon. It's a deep dive into introspection, releasing emotional baggage, and embracing healing and renewal. So it could be, even though it's like water, I don't want to say could be, it may be like energetically, like you'll notice some things just lifted that you probably have been working on if there's been any shadow work. It represents like the second half of the lunar cycle. So for some of you, the second half is just like if we were playing a game and you go through the 4 quarters and you've gotten through the first half, now you're in the second half and it's like go time, okay? It also talks about something gradually becoming smaller or fading. So something that may have made you less happy, okay, may become gradually smaller. And that is good news for those of you that have been juggling some, the Two of Pentacles over here that inspired the video just talks about change, juggling, building momentum, and some even coming out of turbulence financially. So if this is a financial card for you, it definitely talks about a wish fulfillment or bliss and happiness. If this is love for you, Scorpio moon loves through intimacy. So there may be a physical connection coming your way. And I guess the intimacy, for those of you that are in a relationship, could have strengthened the relationship bond, because physical intimacy is in Scorpio. So that does talk about ecstasy and bliss. Okay. Try to match their intensity and sparks will fly if that is for you. Okay. Now you have in the center the elephant. Some of you with this King of Cups or Scorpio energy coming from the Nine of Cups. With the elephant, it talks about trust. So you definitely may have some Scorpio somewhere in your chart. If you were sitting there and a card had to come out to reassure you that it is okay to trust. Okay. The elephant represents trusting because it has no idea where it's going for the most part, but knows that it's going somewhere and is trusting in that light or the flame. Now, the flame can sometimes represent your guide, as Elon Musk so pleasantly stated, light the flames in your heart or something like that. It also represents the Kether, which is above the crown. So it's like the hangman to me. If the Kether is at the bottom of the card and the red dot or the root is at the top of the card right here, it gives me 12. It gives me, there could be a timing for some of you guys. There may be something significant coming. Someone has that birth date, or it's significant to you that you may have water in your chart. And the hangman does sometimes represents like being prophetic or something. So there could be a spiritual journey for you guys, and there's like something opening up in that realm for you, possibly an opportunity. It also represents the weight. And so when I think about nines manifesting or some sort of galactic or spiritual journey, I think about the 3, the 6, and the 9 and what they potentially mean. Because I always try to figure it out and everybody has like different answers. Like 3 means something. And then 6 to me is like about balance, right? Or acceptance, right? And that's what this 9 sometimes represents, which is contentment. But maybe you guys have mastered that. Contentment and trust is going to bring about some sort of change and momentum, because maybe the fears hold us back. Maybe our emotions hold us back. So for some of us, it may be go time. You know, look at that. It may be go time on something that's significant to your spiritual journey, a relationship, okay, to warm things up. But this thing or person may have your attention. It also talks about the root, sacral, or solar plexus for some of you guys, and maybe paying attention to some of those areas, staying hydrated, because the cheetah is in action, is in motion, has everybody's attention. So there is, don't go outside ashy, all right? Even though you think ain't nobody gonna see it, they might. We get one more card for you, group 2. Oh my gosh, this is retarded. Look at that. Some sort of awareness, right? An answer. There may be a collaboration for some of you that could bring about some sort of support. You may have manifested this, or this person manifested you, and double downing on the intimacy and the ecstasy and the bliss. It could be Capricorn in the chart. It also talks about discipline. Now, in this instance, I'm feeling the devil card represents the goat, okay? And the goat with his emblem on the third eye could represent a mastery or understanding of some sort in this physical realm. And you go from like 1 flame at the foot of the elephant to 4 flames. So when I think about 4 wands, that's an event that talks about arrangements being made. And the goat is someone who has mastered a thing. So if there is an event or a situation a person or a place that you've manifested, that the completion of or even the acceptance of is going to make you extremely happy. Here's a reminder to just be mindful of your beliefs on good and bad. That's something that could come up when Scorpio and wish fulfillment or something spiritual is on the table. It's like understanding right and wrong, true and false. How those things could hold us back depending on this lifetime and outdated beliefs that we have, because that's a favorable benefit of the Devil card, which is to release ourselves from bondage, especially those of us that have strong religious ties. And in this life, you didn't incarnate as a monk or a nun. You're a human. It doesn't mean that you have to indulge in things that make you uncomfortable or that are outside of your boundaries of integrity. But keep in mind that you may not be affiliated with some of those vows that were taken. Others, it just talks about the transits possibly and where it falls in your chart. But when I think of Scorpio, and I'm an OG millennial, so some of you may be also, this magician energy, this completion energy, this momentum building to this spiritual thing, I feel like it has something to do with possibly Saturn in Scorpio, Capricorn. Capricorn can be in Scorpio, but you know what I mean. It's a strong connection, and it could. I think Capricorn and Saturn are cool. They be hanging out together, so I don't feel that it's negative. But if there is anything negative, it just says those of us that need to focus on contentment and acceptance and our reaction as we kind of like move through this path of the unknown, and not let any dark energy, contaminate the psyche that produces any sort of obsession, anxiety, or doubt and fear. Because the elephant is focused. I don't even think he got eyeballs. I think he kind of do. Maybe he don't. In the guidebook, it also emphasized on they have like tunnel vision. So if you keep that tunnel vision, nobody can sneak in anything creepy into your psyche. And if they do, meditation, focusing on that wish, and some sort of contentment to tolerate the uncertainties or whatever may transpire for you, group 2. And we will move to group 3. All right, group 3. Here is your card. Let's flip it over. You have the Ace of Wands. First mind, a new budding relationship. Second mind, the end of financial turbulence or even embarrassment with some newfound creative project. This wand is magnificente for anyone wanting to marry, start a business, attract more of something. It could be clients, it could be money, it could be attention. But this is pure, raw energy from the divine. And I know usually the Ace of Wands is just the first little visual of something big that you're manifesting, bringing itself onto this dimension. So I think that that's super dope. Now, there could be a connection because usually our soulmates are connected to the root sacral, so it's not even solar plexus. That's why it kind of dims off. But for some of you, it may be a new connection, like actually with a person. And I'm noticing the red light now. Sometimes the red light is like an end of something, or, telling us, it's like stop. But I think it's more so fire with you guys. Because I think I said it's go time for group 2. So it's like you guys have the red light. But I'm looking at the horse at the bottom of the deck, which is also insane. So let's see what else we have for group 3, but I know for sure for some of you it's going to be a new budding relationship, and then something manifesting into this realm in the physical from one of them cups, from, you know, the 7 of cups. And it's a yes to your question. Some of you guys are going to get a yes. And I can't say to the next question you ask, but it definitely will be, oh, wow. I thought I took out one card. You guys have, I saw temperance. Okay. Temperance could be anything from a divine being to an alchemist who has, like I said, the magic wand, like Harry Potter or something, and it's about to go down. Okay. Temperance is also about making adjustments internally. So one change that's coming for you could be, oh, I said a stop or an end. Okay. To possibly frustration. Okay. In this temperance card, all of the chakras are there. So there's some significant possibly about the root, the sacral energy for you. And oh my gosh, I don't know what this means, but y'all can Google it. When I was doing some research on my cards, there's some sort of Kabbalic or esoteric thing about the Page of Pentacles, and it says the page is like one of the dopest cards in the deck. I didn't even know that, the Page of Pentacles. And it said that the goal is, or you know, the journey is to put a serpent on the branch. And that's what makes it so magnificent, because you have to put the serpent on the branch, quote unquote, for some magnificent thing, you know, whatever takes a human being from being normal to really experiencing and expressing this free will that we're supposed to have, and everything that most of us are inspired to learn or become through spirituality, just like your highest self, you know, your greatest potential and whatever spirit has for you. So look into that, right? Or I mean, I got y'all right here. Let me see if I can find something. Spirit said I'm not. Okay. I think I have the cards. So I'll find it and I'll put it on the community board one random day if you follow. If you don't, hit the notification bell and you will receive that alert, or my post will pull up on your timeline. It may be some experiences too. It could be a quarter connection that you are wiggling out of, because now that I have looked a little bit into it and Spirit said that I was not going to find it, it does talk about coming to certain terms about the real world and the current state of affairs, blessed with a calm and rational approach to all pressing problems. And see, this is also, excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune being on your side. The Wheel of Fortune talks about fate. And this talks about something that's fated. So there is a connection. I knew it. There is a connection coming in that is fated. It may be a fire sign. Okay. But it brings about some sort of change. And I feel like the change is in your favor and is a part of your destiny. At the bottom of the deck, you have the dolphin. Dolphins are very happy. It does talk about the Three of Pentacles, which is possibly a collaboration of some sort or a compromise. So for some of you, there may be a happy compromise with this individual. I don't know if this is you or the individual, but it's kind of like you guys, I think you in group 2 are maybe experiencing some of, I don't know, it's like the potential for I don't know how to say it, because it's not the same thing, or it would have been all, you know what I mean? But it's like, there's something about, they had the water and you guys got the fire, and where they had the goat that had the feet on fire, right? And the elephant with the fire at its feet, you guys have the stork. And instead of having the devil card, you have, it's like something that I don't know, it hasn't happened yet, but it's getting there, because in the devil card, the emblem was here, and it was a goat, and the antlers were not colored. But for you guys, this emblem hasn't like manifested itself or left some sort of imprint. So it's still fresh, but I feel that you're receiving something that eventually graduates. Something like that. And so we did have the elk, the full moon, right? Wasn't it the elk moon, and it happened to be a full moon? So this could be significant too. Something that was done and you're being rewarded for, or this change is manifesting itself, something that you asked for, meditated on, wished for, could be a person. Temperance does talk about reconciliations. You got this cord and you have connections. So there may be a person returning to you, and this person could be, this person could be a person, but it could also be a guide for some of you. So that's what's going to bring about some sort of change for you. And I'll tell you a super dope thing about the Father of Pentacles specifically. A long time ago, it wasn't that long. It was like 2018 or something. But a long time ago, I had this meditation about what looked like a King of Pentacles kind of individual floating fucking down. And don't laugh, okay? I really saw this. And when I said it to the collective, they received it without laughing at me, even if I would laugh at myself. But it was like in a seated position, but I ain't see no chair. And it was just like coming from somewhere. This kind of reminds me of that. And I'll be honest with you, at the time, it was a Virgo. Or a power couple. That was the reading. It was about the power couple, because the Queen of Pentacles came in the reading to support this King of Pentacles that I saw floating down on his way to somebody. Weird. Okay, but it happened. And it's giving me a little bit of those vibes. For some of you guys, it's a teacher. Others of you guys, it may be traveling with this Wheel of Fortune, given like the globe, the internet, some sort of network or connection. It could be a collective. Some of you may have attracted like some situation that brings you to the collective, or maybe your energy is shifting so that maybe you didn't like your old collective. You know what I mean? Or maybe you don't have, you're not sure or certain of your particular collective, and your energy is shifting so that you guys, okay, Spirit said, don't shift away from the lovers. All right, I knew it. I mean, I said it. I feel like it's some sort of connection for you guys. And look at these cards. You got the Ace of Wands, which was your initial card, with 2 major arcana. So the situation isn't like everyday life sort of thing. The reason why the Elk Moon came up, because it's possibly a once in a blue moon kind of thing. So keep your eyes open for that connection or opportunity. Now, as promised, I did say I had a collective message for all of you. And I feel that it kind of trickled out in like an overall kind of way, but we will get to the collective message now. So how I saw this, when I have all of your cards together, I feel as though it's a cool down for some of you that created this stillness to create. So your creative flow returns. For others of you, this manifestation coming in is a wish fulfillment and is financial. So I got a big, huge amount. It's not like a little bit. For some of you, it may be. I don't know what a big deal is to you, but whatever your big deal is, it could be that big deal. And so for group 3 to have the Wheel of Fortune, if you're in group 3 and this like change in finances is coming to you with the Wheel of Fortune, it could be huge. Okay. Now, for others of you, when we talked about energy and emotions, because these 2 cards came out, I would just be mindful to stay busy, because an idle mind, the devil's workshop, and you're in a position along your journey where you could be vulnerable or susceptible to attacks and distractions. If that has been your journey up until this point, that may exactly be what you're released from. So good job for you. Okay. And then those of you with this beautiful golden egg, and the bear coming out with this symbol, you know, of like the sun or some sort of awakening. I feel like you guys may be awakening to an inspiration, energy, or some new part of yourself that has the capacity to do something amazing, if you can dig my blues. So here's to the spring coming early for you guys, because we're actually in my hemisphere going into winter, but psychologically, financially, emotionally, whatever it's been, you guys are coming out of winter and into spring, and those buds are budding and the spring ain't even started yet. So whatever it is, I know that it's dope. Okay, and I do hope that it helps.